The economy is always listed as the most important subject for many voters. If you were in Congress, what would you do to try to improve the economy? And what could you do as a congressional representative to ensure that people in the first district have access to plentiful, good-paying jobs?
Well, this, in our present state, manufacturing needs to come back to the United States. We were truthfully done in when they sent it overseas. And that's been a progression over the past 30 or more years when they decided they could cut the labor costs when we cut our own throats. And Congress has sold us out since the 60s as far as allowing Japan first to drive us out of the television industry. And so when we drive around in this area, there are manufacturing facilities all over the place. They've been closed for years. We need to repopulate those buildings, bring that manufacturing back. And what can I do? That's my job presently, is manufacturing and the automation of manufacturing. When I say automation, I don't mean taking people out, but making sure that each and every part they make is a good part. And I know how to do that, and I would give my expertise.
What is the best way legislatively to prevent gun violence, and specifically school shootings and mass shootings?
You know, the school shootings and mass shootings I don't understand, aside from, in truth, open carry. If everyone has a gun, no one's going to take a gun and begin to shoot innocent, unarmed people. That's really the crux of the problem. They always go after someone that's vulnerable. If there are guns in everyone's pocket, no one's going to start shooting people. That's my belief.
What is your plan for fixing America's immigration problem?
We need to first lock down the border so that we know who's coming into the country. I believe immigration is good. And in truth, 3 sets of my great-grandparents all immigrated since the turn of the century, into the 19th century. And so, you know, we'll have more and more jobs. We need more and more workers. It's always good, and diversity. People bring that, you know, different cultures. That's what America's all about. So we need to get a grip on who's coming, and then, you know, make sure the people that are coming are not coming to harm the country. That's all we need to do.
How important is it to not increase the national debt and to balance the budget?
It's ultimately important. The only reason I'm here is because our Congress is broken. They no longer have the ability to manage our money. We need the Convention of States to take that away from it at first and manage that spending. We need a balanced budget, quit wasting money on crazy things, and, you know, become the strong country we're supposed to be.
What, if anything, do you think President Trump could have done better so far in his handling of COVID-19?
What could we do better? I'm not sure, you know. Hard to say what you could do better. Obviously, if it were never here, which is impossible, then that would be easy. But it seems they're doing a pretty good job. You know, obviously we're on the rise again, but they knew that was going to happen. The whole social I've worked the whole entire time because I was an essential personnel. because we build equipment for the military and agriculture. We've had no outbreaks at our facility. So the social distancing and the hygiene practices, they work.
Do you believe climate change is real? And if so, what do you think is the best approach to combat it?
I believe climate change is real. I believe that nature is the largest driving force, but we obviously could reduce our carbon footprint, you know, and the effects we have on the environment. But is money better spent on learning how to deal with the change in the climate rather than trying to change what we can't change?
And if elected to Congress, what would you do to address the racial tension that's evident in recent protests, and how would you try to improve race relations in the district?
See, and I really don't understand the racism because, you know, I'm a child of the 60s. I was born in 1958. I grew up during the revolution, and, you know, and in my lifetime, my age group, we got over this. We lived together, it was all good, you know. I'm from Atlanta, and you know, I actually have met Martin Luther King's parents when they were alive. This is all cause, you know, racism is real, but it shouldn't be. You know, I have, my grandchildren are in mixed families. I don't understand why we keep regressing when we should be progressing.
And is there anything that you feel like could be done from a congressional level?
Education is the best answer. You can't force people to do, you know, what they believe to be the right thing to do when it's the wrong. We shouldn't hide from the situation. We need to address the situation head on.
Do you support a regional economic development effort that would involve or could involve merging economic development organizations and even maybe chambers of commerce's, you know, in the Tri-Cities and the greater Tri-Cities? And if you do, what role do you think a congressperson should take in guiding that, if at all?
You know, I could help to organize or those groups, and I'm not sure how we go. You know, economic development is based on, you know, how much money you're making and bringing into the area. All I know is we can increase the manufacturing and increase jobs and have that growth.
Is there any approach that President Trump has taken to his job that you would have done differently? And if so, you know, please describe that.
You know, sometimes he's a little harsh and he says too much, you know, which can be sometimes misinterpreted, and they definitely use it against him. So he's his own worst enemy, given that. So he definitely should, you know, think before he speaks, definitely.
So this is a moment for you to speak to the voters. What makes you the best person to represent them?
I have no hidden agenda. I'm here because I gave the first 8.5 years of my adult working life to the Navy, and in return they gave me an education unbelievable as far as technical. I know more physics than anyone should know because of that. I am volunteering the last 6 years, if that, of my working adult life to the country, to my neighbors, you know, because we have too much hidden agenda. We have, you know, lifetime politicians that are there for their own benefit, you know, as an occupation rather than having an occupation. And that's the wrong answer. It's cost us way too much. We can't progress in that direction any longer.
Well, Chuck Miller, thank you for coming into our building today, and I appreciate you sharing those thoughts with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.